What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are all having an absolutely fantastic day. I know I am. If you are, be sure to press the like button. Otherwise, no joke, no scam. You will become cringe. Yeah, that's right, bro. Press the like button. Otherwise, you yourself will be eaten alive by cringe. It's not a very fun feeling, trust me. As you guys can tell from the title and thumbnail, today we're going to be talking about a girl that went to my high school that tried to ban poor people from coming to prom. Yeah, that's right, guys. Apparently, the fact that they didn't make enough money was disgusting, and they simply could not be at her prom, all right? Because there's no way, it's impossible that you could spend time with, poor people at prom. It's just not how it works, all right? What do you expect her to be with poor people? That's disgusting. Real talk, though, it's arguably one of the most spoiled people I've ever interacted with, and I know you guys are going to enjoy the video, so yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So, regardless, when I was a senior, we were planning our prom in, the student government class, which I only took because I just needed a place to fill credits, all right? I was just kind of whatever. I won't really get super involved in the student government because at my school, the student government was basically just a place where, the spoiled rich kids got together and just, did whatever they wanted. There was this girl who looked a little something like this. I'll put it up on screen. I probably used it as the thumbnail, too. And she was kind of the leader of our student government, She wasn't the elected class president, but she was, who everybody would listen to. Whenever she said something, people would listen, all right? This girl had minions, okay? She was Gru, and basically everybody else that was super involved in the student government was her minion. That sole job it was to do her dominion and her bidding. And her name, well, I'm not going to say her name, but I'm going to call her Ashley for the purpose of the story because she was a bit of an ashhole, you know what I'm saying? Haha, play on words. You are very funny, Mr. Scrubs. But regardless, Ashley was one of these people that was super involved in student council, and her parents were, insanely rich. I'm pretty sure she got dropped off in a Rolls Royce every day, all right? Her parents were loaded. And for some reason, she just figured that only people with money were relatively important. And we're sitting in the student government class talking about planning the prom, and Ashley is going off about how she wants ice sculptures, and she wants it at this casino, and da-da-da-da-da. And basically, the way prom works is that it's funded by the tickets that you sell. So, if tickets cost $100 a piece and 1,000 students buy tickets, then you get, $100,000 to throw prom. Now, the odds of 1,000 kids spending $100 on tickets is pretty small, but you guys get the idea. So she's going on about how she wants to get one of the casinos on the Las Vegas Strip's convention area for our high school prom. She wants Cirque du Soleil, the professional acrobats, to perform the entire time. She wants ice sculptures. She wants limos. She wants all these, incredible things. She wants Martin Garrix, a DJ that performs in nightclubs on the Las Vegas Strip, to be there and perform for us. And so all of this is going on, right? And I'm kind of in the back of my head, wow, this sounds incredible. This sounds like an incredible prom. The only problem is, how in the world are we going to afford this, okay? We're talking, a multi-million-dollar night here, all right? This isn't just, some prom tickets. So, I bring up where I'm hey, maybe this all sounds incredible, but maybe, $2,000 prom tickets is a little bit unfeasible, okay? Most kids at our school can't really swing $2,000 for prom. Hey, mom, do you mind if I take half your monthly salary? We're having this crazy school dance that you should pull up to. I'm sorry, that's just not going to go over well, right? And she looks at me and dead serious goes, why would we want poor people at our dance anyways? And I'm just kind of wait, what do you... What do you mean? You don't want people there? Okay, 4 people are going to show up, okay? Is that what you want to hear? And she's like, no, it's just why would I want poor people there? I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean, but poor people just don't really contribute much. Why would I want poor people to be at prom? And I'm wait, what does poor have to do with people being fun at a dance? I've never been at a party and been boy, you sure can't tell who's fun here because those kids are broke. You can tell that they are disgustingly poor because of how little fun they are at a party. I'm really not understanding how these things are related, right? And Ashley was never the smartest girl to ever exist. Don't get me wrong. She probably had about 4 brain cells between all of her body, and not all of them would work at a given time. time. So at any given time, she's only running on 2 brain cells, if she's lucky, if it's a good day. So basically, the assignment we were working on is we weren't really planning prom. Each hour, our student government teacher had a student government class. So everybody was planning a prom, and they were all going to present their ideas and budgets and designs to the teacher, and then he was going to pick the best one, right? So I'm like, all right, our teacher is not going to sign off on a prom where you're basically saying that you're making it so that poor people can't go. Like, he's not going to sign off on that. He's a teacher, like, he won't sign off on that. And that's when Ashley, once again, ever the big brain spoiled child, looks at me and goes, well, he's poor too, so it's not like his opinion matters. And I'm like, what? Now poor people's opinion don't matter? 10 seconds ago, they were just lame at parties, whatever. Like, okay, that's not true, but fine, you think poor people are lame at parties, but now their opinions don't matter? So I'm obviously getting pretty frustrated because I was not exactly a rich kid, like, I was not lining up with my Rolls Royce to get out of the parking lot in the morning. Like, I don't know, I was never like insanely rich. So when she's basically saying that my opinion is worthless because my parents don't have a fat bank account, I wasn't exactly hyped about it. It was pretty easy for me to take that insultingly. So I just kind of am like, look, that's a stupid idea. I think purposely trying to uninvite poor people from something that a lot of people that consider one of the main high school experiences is just wrong. Like, you shouldn't do that. And Ashley's like, well, that's your opinion, and no offense, but you're not exactly rich either, so I don't think yours matters. And to make matters worse, bro, you would think at this point everybody else in the class would be like, wow, Ashley, you're kind of a terrible person for saying that we purposely should try to uninvite as many poor people from prom as possible, and that anyone who doesn't have money's opinions don't matter. But as I said, she was pretty popular, so most people in the class agreed with her and were like, yeah, I wouldn't want to dance with poor people either. And I'm like, dog, none of you are rich. Which one of you guys got dropped off by a Rolls Royce this morning, huh? So the entire class kind of sides with her. So I go to the teacher and I'm like, look, I can't plan prom with them. They're not listening to my ideas. I'm sorry. If I have to fail, then I have to fail. But like, I can't in good conscience put my name on a project where I basically say that poor people shouldn't be allowed to enjoy things because they're poor. And my teacher's kind of like, come on, it can't be that bad. Like, why would she want to ban poor people? That's ridiculous. And I'm like, well, she is. And he's like, no, she's not. Okay, yeah, you're right, teacher man. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know how words work. I made the entire thing up. I'm delusional, sure. So whatever, I just go back and I sit over there and I don't do anything. And the entire time she's kind of talking about how, like, yes, ticket prices might have to be increased, but like, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing that, like, lower class students just maybe shouldn't come. Which is just, why? Like, why would you purposely try to make it so that not everybody could enjoy your prom? Like, isn't the point to get together with all your classmates and have a good time? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it, okay? So the time comes and we have to, like, present our projects to our teacher. And it's basically this after school thing where, like, all the classes get together and it's supposed to be like a show of democracy, and in reality, it's just me sitting there like, I can't believe that I'm unironically going to have to go up with a group that is going to talk about how poor people not being invited is a good thing, okay? So we go up, and it's pretty obvious that Ashley is like our class's leader, like, she's like, I'm in charge here. I don't know how to do a bossy woman being in charge, right? I don't know how to do it, okay? She's like, I'm in charge here. And so the president, like, our teacher's like, okay, well, what's your plan? And so she starts going off, and everybody in the, like, the other classes are like, wow, this sounds incredible. She's talking about Cirque du Soleil, and we're gonna have ice sculptures, and I'm pretty sure at one point Jesus himself is gonna come in and turn all the water into wine. Like, just all these things that are ridiculously expensive. And so everybody's like, wow, that would be incredible. And our teacher's got this look on his face, and he's looking at me, and I'm kind of like, yeah, I told you that this hoe wanted no po people in the prom, And so it gets to the end of our presentation, and it's like the time to say how much the tickets were going to cost to run your prom, which was a part of our problem. Was like, we had to set up and figure out how much we would have to sell tickets of in order for the prom to work, in order for it to be fiscally possible. And Ashley, in her infinite wisdom, says tickets would cost $3,333. And our teacher about spits out his drink. And I'm like, yeah, bro, it's almost like, I don't know, I told everybody that it probably wasn't a good idea to let this girl plan a prom that involved banning poor people. So afterwards, there's like a segment with questions and stuff, right? And for some reason, most of the other kids that are in, student council or whatever, like the student government thing, have like came from richer families. Okay, I don't know, but there was a couple people like me who were like, bro, I ain't spending $3,000 on no prom ticket, And so the questions almost immediately start of, Don't you think that's ridiculously expensive? And Ashley, in front of everybody, not just behind closed doors, starts going off about how it's really not that big of a deal if lower income students can't come because it's not like they contribute much to the culture of school anyways. This girl said that poor people don't contribute anything important to the school. Like, yeah, 70% of the school that exists that can't spend $3,000 on a prom ticket, yeah, they suck. We don't need them because they're not important. And our teacher, when she says that, speaks up and goes, I don't know, I think it's pretty important to be inclusive as a school. And so Ashley looks at our teacher and goes, well, it's not like they're going to do anything with their life anyways. This woman said that no poor people can do anything with their life, as if the only thing that ever matters in life is making money. Nothing else is relevant. Like, if you don't make money, jump out of a window. You're irrelevant. Nobody likes you. So obviously our teacher is like, yeah, no, your plan's not going to win. And he disqualifies her on the spot. And she starts crying and is like, my dad'll make you pay for this, right? Which, usually is a pretty cringe threat, but considering that this girl's dad was, well, rich people donate money to schools, okay? So, like, this girl's dad could probably get her way pretty easily, all right? So, my teacher's kind of like, look, we can't throw a prom with $3,000 tickets. We wouldn't sell any tickets. Like, it's just impossible, that just wouldn't happen. And she's like, well, I just think it's drastically unfair that you would disqualify me without even a vote. And so the teacher's like, fine. So if we have a vote, like, you won't have your dad come in and cause a problem. And she's like, no, but I know that people will vote for my idea because it's incredible. And he's like, all right, everybody, let's vote. Who thinks that her idea is a good idea? And I think at this point, the reality of asking your parents for a $3,000 prom ticket had set in for most kids because a lot of people just didn't raise their hand. Obviously, all of her little minions did. Like, all of her, literal minions wearing overalls and having yellow faces, like actual minions going, banana, all voted for her. But basically, everybody else was kind of like, yeah, no, this is probably a bad idea. And when she lost the vote, dude, you would have thought that somebody told her that her grandma was just hit by a transportation bus. Because she bursts into tears again and starts going on about how poor people are ruining America and are taking away everything fun. Like, this girl was mentally unstable, dude. This girl definitely had some next level problems, right? So our teacher finally gets her to calm down and she just storms out of the classroom. Like, she's like, well, if my prom design's not winning, then I'm not going to sit here and look at the rest of them, and leaves, right? And I'm like, okay. So the teacher is like looking around and is like, okay, well, let's have the next group go. Like, as if the rest of the class is just going to calmly move on and keep presenting projects after that. Like, oh yeah, crazy girl that just said poor people are destroying America. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. Let's just get back to doing what we're supposed to be doing. It was just never going to happen. So obviously everybody immediately starts talking, and like her best friends are like, I don't know, I thought you guys were kind of mean to her. At which point, one of the girls in our, one of the other classes, not our class, but like in the room, is like, you think that we were mean to her when she told us that our opinions don't matter and that we're never going to contribute anything and are ruining America? And they're like, well, obviously she's upset. And they're like, I don't care that she's upset. You don't say those things about people, which is pretty true. It's just a pretty messed up thing to do to people, is be like, yo, your life is meaningless and nothing matters about you. But yeah, that, my friends, is the story of Ashley, the girl who wanted to ban poor people from our school's prom. If you enjoyed, be sure to press the like button, comment down below, subscribe, turn on notifications, and check out another video here on the channel. I've got a feeling this video is going to do pretty well, so if you're new, I've got a lot of stories you guys will probably enjoy. Today's notification shout out goes to the very swagtastic Mr. Incredible 430. I like the Incredibles. If you want a notification shout out, just turn on notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Scrubby. But yeah, have yourselves an incredible day. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. I'm gonna go back to being poor. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm out. Peace.